Hello, everybody. Welcome to this, not, I want to say unusually scheduled Booba, but it is not according to our usual time. Oh my god, there's so many people watching, Mary Mother. But anyway, I'm just very surprised and excited because I feel like, oh my god, it's crazy. But we are finally getting to the point in the year we can finally release the results of the relay, and I know it has been a journey and a half, and I'm so glad we have finally made it after I don't even know after so many debacles, so many little hiccups and sneezes and brain farts. We are finally ready to go through the results, I guess. I don't know. I was the relay master for this, and I had a beautifully organized spreadsheet that did not go well. But it was color coded and it was very nice. And I thought I was going to be organized, and I wasn't, but that's okay. So now we're here. So it is officially August. Hooray. Oh, Danielle, hi. Welcome. I'm entering the stage. Ah, oh God. Oh God. Oh no. Hold on. I gotta click. Gotta click more. Yay. Hi, Danielle. I feel like I'm yelling. My God. I'm just exuberant today. I don't know why. But I think we can get on with the show a little bit. So I was the relay master for this dealio. So I had crafted a wonderful, I was going to say little text, but that's just more so me trying to like de-emphasize the actual length of it. I had an iteration of it where I had an expanded version of the torch, and then it is now, or what was the original torch was the condensed version of the relay and such that got passed on. I guess one thing that I will say is the goal that I wanted to, I guess, reveal through the relay was if it's the same text with related languages rather closely, and where there were some differing amongst, oh, this is me, hi, where there was some differing within the, I guess, some words, some expressions, how those expressions and how those differences would realize kind of in the grander scheme of the relay itself. So I had used my my languages, my dialects, Chielu and Chilu respectively. That is why if you were a participant that there we go, that you were either in a E ring or an I ring, that's how I can kind of help myself, well, how I help differentiate the rings from themselves without saying east or west, or without giving any sort of like clarifying way to kind of distinguish them between the two. So essentially the E ring folks got the Western dialect, and the Eastern was the I dialect, ironically enough. But I will read, I think I'll read out what the intended English expanded version, and then go ahead and start off with the English of the condensed version, so you can kind of see what sort of liberties I took to reduce the length of it, and to hopefully induce some grace as to what could have been a rather longer relay. Let's see what, here we go. Let's scroll up. So this is what y'all could have gone, and you didn't, so thankfully though. So have you heard of the drowned dove flower? It's native to Hipupa, Punasichu, and revered by the island's people, and used to honor King Yisha, the fire deity, and Suosichi, the freshwater deity. One night when the moon's eyes were open, the holiday honoring the two deities was celebrated. At the fire temples, a wild boar was thrown into a pit of fire, or a fire pit, as a sacrifice. At the freshwater temple, a dove was drowned into a basin of fresh water from the rivers. The village gathered around the fire pit to eat and celebrate. One member, Shupu, sat close to the fire to stay warm and kept to themselves. Another member, Shoahu, was getting cold and decided to sit next to Shupu. They began to chat and felt an attraction. The two of them went into the woods, exploring the clearings and trails. As they were walking, Shoahu shoved Shupu into a large tree. They shouted and began to fall back, but was picked up by Shoahu. They then bit at the neck of Shupu with a flash of light behind them, casting a shadow onto the tree. Shupu could not escape, with Shoahu pinning them against the tree. They continued to gnaw into Shupu's neck, while the fire behind them grew more violent. Once skin was broken and pieces of flesh were swallowed, Shupu screamed one last time, and a plume of rain fell from the sky. Some villagers went to inspect the scream and found a pile of wet ashes and bones. They were tired and drunk, so they ignored it to return the next morning. Once they did, they found the ashes gone and some stems sprouting from the ground. They ignored the stems and returned the next morning. Once they came back to the tree, they found the bones gone and white flowers bloomed with a dark center. These flowers became known as drowned dove flowers because of this. When an offering needs made to the fire or freshwater deity, villagers use these flowers instead of boars and doves. And that is kind of the condensed version of what you all have been seeing up above. And yes, of course, Kat, it is very much it is long. And then Yinzal did the short relay to answer Tethys' question. And as David had pointed out, it probably was indeed the longest text that the relay ever attempted. Yes, so I read out the extended, expanded version of what I wanted the story to be, and I condensed it down with all the bore stuff completely removed from the situation, all kind of like more so the Shoaku was not included whatsoever in that, but I think there was still some of the good old-fashioned body horror that I'm known for that is somewhat thread through here, so I'm glad that got stayed. I think that's my little piece as someone kind of in the initial thread of things.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make up a bit for time. I think, Karis, we should be able to get the full version of the story on the website as well at some point, so people can experience the true horror of how long it could have been. I'm going to zoom back in, and I'm going to try and keep scrolling so the right stuff is on the screen in the right place. There's a lot of text. I thought it would be really hard to make slides for it. So I do want to once again shout out Karis for setting up this website so that everything is as neat as possible. Miles gave us like 5 days, and then we were begging for a week. Like it was rough.
I had thought I had thought I was gracious with time. I was not. I had like a little. I remember putting like a little like guidance of how like far you were along to kind of like pace yourself. And then I kind of just realized, oh shit, I just might be really fast at relays, and that's just kind of like a personal sort of deal. But
okay.
yes, let's have to say, okay, I'm gonna stop on.
So I am gonna suggest that everyone reads the first chunk of their text. If people's chunks are really long, some people have the whole thing, then we're gonna read until we get to Susichi. Okay. And for everyone who hasn't been able to make it, I have made some notes of the most important things to be aware of that have changed. There wasn't very much phonetic information about the language, so I'm going to do my best, and Shwar and Kate can harass me in the comments about how terrible my pronunciation of this is. So, Amo godajom mishi out tozon tot meme sonem vanrem out kamage out hipupa punashicho. Agesho de no onajo, sonem van riu, kem te chajo, sushichi out sonen dodge. I'm going dodge. Um, okay. Uh, so, uh, the first thing to know is that this very start of Miles's text, and I am going to be scrolling viciously to try and show things off properly. It starts off with a drowned dove flower, and very quickly it just is a drowned dove who is found by a flowery deity. So that was fun. And the other thing that I wanted to point out was that we have an orca appear, which is very cool.
I know why that is. The orca
Tell us,
appeared
Miles.
because in Chialu there's not there's a closed class of adjectives, so a lot of adjectives are metaphorically extended nouns, and the word for violent and dangerous is transparently an inalienable possessed orca.
Okay.
That's how she popped in there.
And I also enjoyed that the dove's neck was left with lightning-like wounds. Is this another one of these cases?
That looks like a bidentate conjunction. So as it thundered, something happened, then a lightning, something happened afterwards.
Ah, okay. And those were my two main notes. And so I'm gonna pass on to our night.
All right. So, mambo vu iyan mong vula vu sushiji yungata afu pok venugu vu vavalik rundru ra kani rolu taburalu iyanka vu ravish kain achare.
So how was your process translating the Malzian monster?
I mean, I'd say overall it was mostly just an exercise in remembering how the language worked. And say because I'd been deep in the physical world building stuff for the language, so I hadn't actually paid attention to the grammar and words in a long time. So like, and then I think I had to coin a few things, but I don't remember what those are anymore. I think cremains was one of the things I had to coin.
I noted that the cauldron turned into a fire basket, which I thought was cool.
Ooh, I love that.
And
what cremains is today, so thank you.
Me just not understanding what the words were supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And say so. I thought they were. Oh, go ahead.
No, it's the good stuff from relays.
The word for whatever they put the animal in to be cremated.
I see.
And the other thing was that the flowery deities became the god's flower, which was an interesting head opposition. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say? I don't want to. If people want to talk about their stuff, then I
not really.
Okay, cool. So Juno unfortunately can't be here, but I did translate out of Juno's text, and so I'm gonna again do my best. Me and Miles did plan to split some of these up between us, but some things have come up with a little bit less notice. Dubilif de darang dunem da okwa afong da suton da kirit da kyopalating. I don't think that's how the stress should be. Tese kyonakish pada sushiji. Watching belang do moso da felor long da roundjob da got. Oh, all of the A's are meant to be schwa if it works like the other one of Juno's languages. Oh, well. Okay. I'm going to check my notes. Okay.
Already, the platform of Steam and Stone is the literal translation of the place name going on, which is great.
Okay. Fun thing number one. The fire basket becomes a cage of flames. Amazing.
Love.
I was going to ask Juno about the farmer make a very large fire. I wasn't sure if this was a regional thing or a typo or a translational note of, I don't know, it's subordinality. Is that a word? I don't know. It's a word now. There was also the shift towards the few trees rather than
forest, maybe.
Forest, yeah. And there's another interesting thing, which I think I can understand how it happened. In R9's English, the farmers followed the screams, while in Juno's English, the farmer follows and shouts. So the object of the following has become a serial verb sort of thing. Okay, and now we get to
this
me
man, though.
With bokus. So muvukup akok bunan za susidzep gunga ubuku yibos vebe zubekus satazu za niepa ve psiaz vopep vebe vunakus. Did I notate my own text? Yes, I did. Okay. So I think that it's important-ish. So in Juno's text, it says someone who lived there named the waters, right? And I translated that as someone called water lived on, lived on, and then we get to the sacred Giza plateau.
Love.
So whereas the platform of steam and stone with two coordinated nouns, I had heard that Miles was planning on making a bunch of compounds that he chose not to translate, and I thought, you know what, this is a compound. And so it's like a steam stone. That's a Giza. And so I was like, oh, perfect. A Giza plateau, a plateau with a lot of Gizas. I think that geyser is used for both. I'm probably like, is geyser what we call them to distinguish them or not?
Yeah, I would think geyser. So I just keep thinking like there's a bunch of like dudes from Essex with like really fake Burberry just like standing on this plateau.
No, I'm oh wait, that's South African. Wait, oh no, UK and South African. I'm fine. I haven't managed to completely ruin the language. I added psiaz. So there's like a bird. There's a white bird and a drowning god. And anyone who's watched LHAB content for the last year, although I guess Taneida doesn't have bird gods. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's been a whole thing. There's been a bunch of bird gods. Um, and for this one, it was like, oh, like we can. I was like, oh, these are the same thing. I think that's how I understood it. That because this is the other thing. I think the word order must have meant that I interpreted. No, I thought no. Pshaz was the god, and the white bird was separate for me. I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, is what's happened. I also there's references in the previous text to a party, and I ended up translating it so the farmers light a fire in the liquor. And reading it in English, it sounds like if you apply that to the farmers, it could mean that the farmers were drunk. But in Bocuse, it's clear enough that it's the fire that is in the liquor and not the farmers. I also mistranslated a indefinite marker, and so a white bird became some white birds. And I tried to work out why I ended up going with lamest. It seemed like one of the birds was like struggling or something. And this was the sort of easiest way I could think of to translate it. I am trying to work out why I underlined this. Oh, that's what's happened. Okay. So basically this sentence here in Juno's text, the white birds are doing all the actions. For whatever reason, I think I had translated it. There may have been a copy pronoun or something. And so there's suddenly a different person who is doing all these things at the same time as the white birds are crying, who leaves heaven and goes to the trees. I probably should have thought about the way that the cosmology of the Bocuse world works, because it really didn't go well for me. Yes. The biggest changes was that in the original text, the people drink poison, which in Seleng is pokwa, and water in Seleng is okwa, without the P. And so this was just a mistranslation. The people are no longer drinking poison. They're drinking water and having a lovely time.
Oh, thankfully.
There is also the white birds are asking to, like, it keeps referring to morning, but I don't think I understood it as morning, because I'm fairly sure the direct translation was something like ask for release, which I had understood as like forgiveness. And so I translated it more literally here and as forgiveness down here. I don't quite know what the I think it's fine. And I also decided that it was like a meta narrative, because I ended up with a flower story. And so I was like, oh, this is a story all about a flower. It's a flower story. But no, it was an imaginary flower, as in a flower from a story, I guess. Um, Amazing. I did great. And yeah, and I made them cosmos because I was trying to think of black flowers, and yeah, I had misunderstood roots as on the bottom. Um, it was I made it to locational phrases because this originally is the flowers have black roots or there are
In my for the is it's a white flower with a black center.
but it becomes white cremains
Yes.
at the black roots of the flowers. And after that chaos, it's Maddie who isn't here.
No.
Okay. I do have notes. Am I gonna have to read Osmalau? I feel like I should because I worked on the how it's supposed to be read, although I don't think I'm very good at it. Or do you want to give it a shot, Miles?
I
can
will
give you some points.
gladly give it a shot.
Okay.
Calm.
Sorry.
Oh, Lord. Oh, here we go. Hold up, right there. Calm twalsava suzidech chumrazava muvukuch chumrajwovi calm twalt yual kyop almo wam vashrun frirok almozava miasoch. Oh Lord. Shrun frir shravi trurauromo rauch ausmochiluini voy.
Lovely.
That's what I got. Yes, bless this text aligning.
Mm-hmm. The Maddie pronounces the diphthongs as monophthongs when there's a coda, but as diphthongs when there isn't one. Is one of the things that's happening. It's a whole thing. And
now there's bird meat.
Yeah. So Maddie, Miles, do you want to tell this story?
Do I know this story?
Okay, the version of events I know is that Maddie got my text and she was like, oh, maybe I should reword it so that it makes more sense in the culture. And then Maddie was like, oh, this is a bit longer than the text that I got from Jake because I had worked really hard to make mine a lot shorter because it was already really, really long. And Miles said, yes.
I would usually say yes to that question because that's what I usually do, regardless of length, is that like I just need it to be in some semblance of sensical English for me to like do something with it.
I really thought that like you had seen this English and signed off on it, is what I'll say.
Probably not. Probably not.
Amazing. So Maddie fully incorporates the lore of my bird demon into the text. So Mias is named. So Mias is now canon in Osmalau. So in Maddie's next book, you need to be asking where the bird demon is. Because it's in there now. And yeah, this line fully doesn't exist in the text before this. This is from my description of Yash. Oh, sorry, I'm highlighting stuff because I have an annotated PDF, and I'm just realizing that you can't see it if I do it there. There was a fun one where, so in my text, I don't think that the bird makes, like, the sky thunders, but the implication isn't that the bird forces the sky to thunder, causing the lightning strike. I think it changes the trajectory of the story in a very interesting way. Um, and then what happened was that, here we go. So the children besieged the spirit, and then because I had understood the mourning as forgiveness, Maddie then regularizes the saying, and so they're already asking for Mias to forgive them here, before we get to the end, which then means that Mias demands a sacrifice. However, the poison has come back, and so between, wait, or is there a poison flower in? Yeah, no, there's no poison in my one. And so Miles's story obviously requires poison to such an extent that Manny identified the narrative gap and put it back in, which is fun. And
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying, Karis, with the Muvuku. I didn't realize that at first. Yes.
oh, and yeah, so I gave Maddie the fact that Muvuku meant water. But yes, Muvuku's name comes from Bakus,
Okay.
which will be very important as we carry on. And now we're at Danielle. Ah!
All right, hey there. All right, I'll just start out by reading it. Pen mekaf kung susidze wedao ong set mutup ichu. Kung mubuku wedao yenga ni ong set mutup denamo. Kung mias wedao angosen esbe unhu zut uyupa gachtada. Azeb uch enatenat melach wakne sidru. Pus angiosempa esbe leshna gemangu rusni uyupachimo leshna jituz pantu. So I tried to keep as close as possible to what I got from Maddie, but I made some changes as far as kind of localizing it to more desert terrain. So instead of a hot spring, there's now an oasis where the action is taking place. And I think I also made Mias is like taking the form of a white bird. And I changed the quail to a vulture, since vultures feature a lot in Mutwenda mythology and are associated with spirits of the dead, which seem to make sense since there's death going on later on. So I'm trying to think what else I changed here. I know.
I have some notes if you.
Yeah, please.
One thing I thought was really interesting is, where is it? There is a but with one T that gets added.
Yes.
It changes. Here we go. This one.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure about that one. For some reason, I thought there was like a contrast going on there, like that Mias was like tending to make the sky thunder, but as an unattended consequence, that lightning strikes the tree and kind of sets off the fire and everything else.
It's a nice touch. And there's also an interesting shift because Mias flies away in this one.
Yeah, and that may have just been an error on my part, but yeah, Mias kind of like, okay, I've caused enough chaos. I'm gonna fly off now.
Yeah, whereas the Maddie's one, Mias goes in for the attack.
Yeah.
Oh, and you changed the cosmos to datura.
That's right. Yeah. I wanted a flower that might grow in the desert and also a poisonous flower, since that's what's being used to kill the farmer.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't remember. Was the farmer taking the flower in their hand in the last one?
Yes. Holds the poison flower in his hand.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and the farmer's changed gender.
Oh, so yeah, I wanted to. I was going to make a note about that. What I got from the Ausmalau and also in Mutuenda, there's no gendered pronouns, so really it was all just a gender neutral, and I threw in English some pronouns to kind of just help differentiate it for myself as I was translating it, and that just got left in.
Lovely.
And now we have the man himself, Gareth.
Okay, right, yeah. So I'll read the first paragraph then. Okay, so kucing katagao ia gut kucing era tua iga asavane. Pae yame tu serise tsi. Tsinimi kuch usach zibe kuch kamfama. Pae urme mumbokotsi. Kume tumai ia tumaia tumbuvane. Pae yami miasatsi. Ia koloch tsisep ant jigovane. Tumaia pi koloch macha an kushetia ipere pi tion tsisep pushere dere kuch ganambo kase uok chitashi. Okay. So, well, first of all, so Danielle was saying that she added in the gendered pronouns as I don't know, flavor text in the English, but then so the person's gender changes back to masculine for me, but then I somehow introduced that person, I think, as the father explicitly. So the gender is then locked in. So that is entirely my fault because I don't know where that came from.
Gender locked in.
I think it was elder child became father in my version somehow. I do not remember how. Yeah.
Freud might have.
I think that on the whole, things stayed relatively similar from Danielle's text to mine, but there was definitely a few things that changed. Because then in the first paragraph as well, I think is it the first or the second actually? So anyway, when they're placing something near the fire, I somehow changed that from bird to feather. So they place a white feather near the fire rather than a white bird. I don't know again how I mistranslated that. Or white feathers, yeah. And then in the first paragraph, there was also something else that changed, I think. Scroll back up.
I've underlined having eaten too much bird meat. Oh, yeah, it changes from so the spirit is going to poison the people who eat too much bird flesh in Danielle's text. Whereas in your one, it's the spirit who's eaten too much bird meat who's going to poison the person.
Yeah, a lot of the logic kind of... There's a few places where the logic of the story starts to fall apart. And then I think there was also one further down where at the beginning of the next paragraph, this one, I think, the farmer called to his children and ran towards them. I think that got swapped around or something.
Yeah, the did get swapped around.
Yeah, the farmer ran towards the children, calling to them.
Yeah. And then one other thing that changed was because just of the phonology of this language, a lot of the names changed quite a lot because there was only a certain amount of things I could do to make them. I just borrowed them all. I didn't bother translating anything. But yeah, there was only a certain amount I could do to make them look similar to what they looked like in Mutuenda. So
Tuserice was the one that I really couldn't work out.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had no initial sibilants to play with a back vowel in that slot, so well, it's gonna keep the voicelessness and the like the alveolarity.
And then is the R roticized S or something?
The R, well, what was it before that? The R was probably a D.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was
I
probably a
hadn't
voice.
realized it was susidse there, because up here.
Yeah.
Oh, Maddie starts this off because I don't think she has a Z. We can blame Maddie for this.
Uh-huh.
It's always easier to blame people who aren't here to defend themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, but I mean, it is her fault in this case. So you know.
Yeah. And speaking of, forgive me, Mateus. So you'll notice when you go to the website that this technically started in January, and here we are in August presenting the results. The text got so long that basically everyone's availabilities got pushed further and further and further out. And Mateus had quite a busy couple of months planned, and we tried to sort things out, but it just didn't work. And so it took quite a while, but Mateus did a very good, I think it's a very excellent conlanging. Just you can see how long everyone took on the website. I think we assign this to you, Miles, if you.
Oh, gladly. Ili ki o hele huni milau utuafe asi tu selise o mu yu anomo. Hopi hi umu shvele ha fe asi mu puho o mu yu anomo. That's pretty much, on like the more sort of first couple halves, I guess. But yeah, to echo what you had said, Jake, it does seem like pretty fair to the person before of how like it is in its full proper state, I guess.
I think the most interesting translation difference is that the lightning, if I can find it, becomes a flare.
Yeah.
So you've gone from a bird flying while it thunders to the bird causing it to thunder and lightning, to a bird accidentally causing the fire, to a bird spirit like bombing.
So I think I know how this happened.
Okay.
I think it's because in my text I didn't use the word lightning per se. I used like a construction that involves like something describing a flash, which could also just be anything like flares. So I think Mateus may have thought that it had to do with the fire flaring, because that could also be a word used to describe that. So I assume that's where that came from.
Oh, another thing which I assume might be a translational thing is that we go from a sacred oasis to a good oasis. Not like a good, terrible oasis.
Sacred water to good water as well.
Yeah. And that was all of my notes on Mateus's text. But I hope that it's worth checking everyone's documentation. Because of the length of the text, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And I think that's echoing especially one of Mateus's comments about the process as well, that you got a lot to do for your relay buck. No one was paid in this. Let's carry on. And we have Nemo live on the channel for the first time. Hello.
Hello. Yeah. So it starts with Munosol Meri o Angrina Ungunmo Kiho. Illesi tuselise, ongiretta kihefme urlel liral, illesi mumpuhori, which goes on up in Borai Kiho. So it's no. That's the most major change that I think I have made was there's a line about cloud gathering, which I turned into that, which I translated as the spirit became a storm. I think that's the most major change that I can see at the first glance.
The only other thing I noted was that the feather is shining rather than white, which I guess comes from the adoption of the white as bright thing. And I think that people said that we have gone really fast, and I think if we have enough time, if people want to give general responses, I think that would be good. But I think that we should read this. So Miles hasn't retranslated the text into Chilo.
I do not know.
And so let's read where the English got to. I'll read it with the with the original English on this side, for everyone who hasn't been staring at this for the last 48 hours trying to figure out what they're going to say. And then we will do a little switcheroo to the other ring. So atop a tall hill, there was a sweet twirl. Its name was, I would have said Chuselisa, but I don't remember what you did for this vowel. Anyway, there was a farmer in that land. His name was Mumpuho. Also, there was a spirit. It appeared as a bird and was named Mesa. It discovered a flower near a scavenger, which was a bird that ate a lot of meat. Then, the spirit wanted to poison a person. I've got flowers on the brain. So Mesa sat near a fire near the well on the hill. At that time, it searched. Meanwhile, the children of the farmer lit the logs, which then grew into a fire. A child placed a shining feather near the fire. Then the father of those children smelt a strong smoke near the tree. Mesa was hovering above. At that time, the flame reached that tree. The bird was bleeding and shouted, and the children called their father. The children had fled from the burnt dark tree. The children cried for the bird. At that time, Mesa fled from the children. The farmer asked the children to flee, but the children looked at the burning bird. The children begged for mercy from the spirit of Mesa. At that time, they drank water of the sweet well. The spirit became a storm and then went to the shining well. Mesa gave life to the dark and poisoned flower. Mesa demanded to sacrifice a person. Mumpuho obtained a mercy for the children, but Mesa gave the poisoned flower to him. That flower killed the farmer. Tusalisa was peaceful. Amazing. And there's some cool data. The one I really wanted to show off was that was the shortest in my English text. I was very I really tried, everyone. I really tried. And yeah. So any comments from anyone?
The one comment I will say first is that this is the more coherent of the two results. So this ring, everybody did really well. Thank you so much. But this one definitely got the quote unquote message better. I won't say translated, transported maybe down the line. But yes, this is lovely. I cannot wait to see how the next one turns out.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So
I just want to add.
Ooh, go
I
ahead.
just want to
Sorry.
add that the relay started before I was planning to do a PhD, and now I'm currently doing a PhD.
Woo!
See what you've done, Miles. See what you've
I've
done.
done such heinous acts. I know. I feel like I need to like flagellate 17 times over after this.
I haven't seen Lanro in the comments, but she calls herself a relay terrorist. And you just
No, I
know
haven't.
you terrorized all of us with this text.
I promise you I've learned my lesson, y'all. I sincerely do.
You've already had 8 months to think about what you've done.
It's a lot of confessions, I know.
Okay. Did I export the thing that I was going to use in this moment? I really should have organized everything better. Although I will say people doubted my timekeeping skills, and look at us. We're doing so great.
I mean, better you than me with the timekeeping.
Well, that's what this relay has proved, really, Miles, isn't it? Hey.
Girl, if you can't laugh at yourself, who the hell are you going to laugh at?
No, they're your friends. Works for me. Why can't I see anything? It's because I'm live. If I was doing this not then, it would not have been a problem. What did I name this file? I just saw it. There we go. Voila. Okay. If everyone who is from Ring I could leave, or if you want to say anything, say it before you go. And if the people who are waiting to talk about Ringy can join, that would be amazing. You've got 8 minutes to swap over.
Bye, everybody.
I didn't realize I was supposed to wait. My bad.
You've been so patient, Solar. I sincerely appreciate you for it.
You're fine. When I was worried that loads of people were going to try and join all at the beginning, and you can only have 10 people on StreamYard at a time. And so
Also, I forgot that this was happening. I get a text from Lonru, Booba relay recap in 15 minutes. I'm like, oh, all right. So, yeah.
Bless her heart.
It's great. It's great. I made it, though. I just was really early.
Well, Miles invited a lot of people in who we haven't had in before, which was very exciting for me. Okay. Okay. Is this everyone? I forgot who said that they could come and who said they couldn't.
This seems like everybody, unless we're expecting Bib.
I think that we got a yes from Bib, but I don't know if Bib's still a yes.
I've not
We'll
seen
have to see. I mean, Bib's like a few in.
I think we
Should
can
I
get started
tag
if
people? I
they
feel
show
like if people are going to be waiting, they're watching this, surely.
Oh, also, Jonathan says they might be able to make it in like 40 minutes, so we can take our time.
A wild Biblaridian has appeared.
A wild Biblaridian.
Okay. Amazing. And, okay. So, people have had enough time to take in the incredibly lengthy story. Right?
That horse is like now just like tartar at this point.
We've gone through it like with every word change, and I think it was good that we did it in this order. I was considering presenting them in alphabetical order, but Oleg did sort of keep to the story. I will add that Jonathan wants us to take as long as possible.
Oh goodness.
We'll see how things go.
Yes.
And you're doing Badol de la Toche, right? Or did I forget?
Yes, I will do my darn. I'm pretty sure I remember how it goes, but I will do my darnest to see. Arroen din dilwador, rudui dobu, sobo muy lisidor, pu bado dali bisor, yan suinwa, sarandrobis, suduni lalu, Osatan bado da libis met, san met bado da libisortwe, sin sorn rotis met bado da libis sin sor. So I believe, as this little nota bene says, so this is the translation of not the Badodelatus text, but of the Chilo text kind of in the English before they translate it. Long story short is what I remember about reading through Aaron's translation is that a lot of the conjunctions that are present in Chilu were literally translated, which kind of like did have it be a little extended in the long run. I believe we'll see that it kind of like actually has shrunk over time. That was the one thing that I do remember. And then the names were also literally translated out as well. So it kind of like became this sort of like nice, longer sort of inherent document as well. There is not funeral pyre, but friend pyre. I think that's interesting. Your friend on the pyre, why don't you? But I think this is a really, really great translation of it. And it started off a lot of cool little chaos effects, butterfly effects kind of going forward. So I'm very, very intrigued to see kind of how Yinzal coalesce this.
I tried before this to try and pick out all of the stuff that I could tell had changed interestingly.
Oh, yes.
Between the versions. And what I will say is that aside from the idea, where is it?
To keep to themselves.
Yeah. No. So they get warmed by the fire, but keep to themselves. And in this version of the story, it's becoming hot and lonely. I love that. I vibe with that so much. And yeah.
Oh yeah, it does seem like the kinship relationships were kept. So like the older sibling, younger sibling, in terms of the power dynamic, that was also kept in.
Mm-hmm. We love age gap discourse on this channel.
We actually unironically do for some reason. We seem some always come back to it.
Okay. And so now I can hand over to Sola.
Oh goodness, I didn't think about pronouncing this. We're gonna power through.
Yes.
Saudu de gyugte guige njumauke luage ruide fui hashekte guses gusha shaipo biusiang o semroko shekte sha luaiha shawato Shashekte byung ru sargu shvua sergu sutlatu si shu samroko ke augama samroko. Long words. I mean, notes for it. This language, every word is nominal until proven otherwise. So I make a lot of stuff verbal, and I think that probably affected some people down the line. I also had a personal rule, call it a cultural thing, where I treated this like poetry, where or treated this like a grandfather telling a poem to a grandchild, where what they'll do is they'll use words, they'll use participles to describe previously introduced agents, without actually saying the name again or saying what it is again. And that, I can imagine, caused some issues down the line, especially when there's a whole sentence that is only verbal arguments. Everything is verbal. There is no noun. It's just everything is either a participle or a finite verb. So
Nice.
It's great.
Nice.
And I think the thing that I underlined is that we go from the dove was drowned to find this whole thing, and suddenly it's the flowers that see the moon under the cloud and over the gods.
So
Yeah.
So what happened? What happened? I didn't know what to do with this at first. And then I thought we were going to do videos, and I had talked with Aaron afterwards, after this, and at one point, Aaron, in the conversation, Aaron goes, "Did you get my passive construction?" And my response was, "Passive construction?" So yeah. That's what happened.
Those flowers with their beady eyes looking at things.
The passive construction?
I think that we enter a different version of reality in conlang relays sometimes, and it's always very interesting what sort of shakes out of them. Oh, and we have the becoming animalistic. I thought that was like, I think this comes from the gnawing.
Could not tell.
Yeah, probably so.
I do not remember.
This might be the violence translation.
Yeah. I think there was something in the text given to me where like the literal translation was animalistic, and I'm like, we're running with that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And yeah, the raindrops saw the story. Lovely.
I had no clue.
And going to, oh, sorry, I did want to point out that this is a really exciting relay for me because we have people on 4 continents. Nemo has already presented, but we've got people in Europe, America, Asia, and now Australia all taking part, which did make, I'm really sorry for everyone who couldn't make it, but finding a time to do this with everyone would be insane. So
yeah, it's 7 a.m. here, so not ideal for me.
I'm sorry.
I hope you had some sort of coffee or tea or something or another.
Nope, I just got out of bed and came here.
Oh, bless
But
you.
that's all good. Yeah, after seeing what Solar's text was intended to mean, I actually don't feel so bad about what I wrote. So I guess I'll just read it. Siket se kutuna neve poves tusren se vava uket antu kutur. Niheke ilepsam vata nexam solusur se veruxa, euke oikuhuxa. Nexam solusur me ke lethuxa, vaku ekurmesam sauk melu veruxa. Ekoirmesam neve puta vava uketes nautetesam pirremuk neukeolusmuk. So there are a few things that were deliberately introduced, like the barley comes in for just to make it a bit more culturally local. The sheep become cows because there are no sheep in Ikuram, so there's no word for that. But I see also that there weren't sheep previously because they were clouds, right? In Solar's Dalshe. So now we have cows for no reason. I was originally going to translate sheep as well by some kind of descriptive compound of like what a speaker of Munise would actually say if they saw a sheep. And I wish I'd done that now. Because
that is lovely. So, yes, this is wonderful.
This is the good relay shit, if we're being honest.
This is the crunchy shit we all crave.
Okay. I had made a note about the barley. I had a little question mark. Can we talk about when the insects arrived?
Yeah, so the way I interpreted the Dalshe text, we had these, if you could scroll up so I can see what it actually was supposed to be, but we had this.
Oh, to the Priscilla's text.
Yes, please, yeah. Because there were these glowing things arriving, the stars. And
sorry, I can't find them.
No, it's all good. It's here.
Yeah.
So I was really confused by the stars arriving in the forest and being bitten, and I thought, it was the stars were animate in Daoshe, which is what they were lexically supposed to be, but I ended up replacing them with glowing insects. Just because I thought that made more sense at the time. So that's where the bugs came from.
Interesting.
Oh, and the siblings grow wings.
Yeah. I don't remember why that was the case. But I remember it's when they became animalistic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what it was. Yes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what this was. Oh, we get another thing becoming water. No, that's die and fall in the water. Where is it?
The raindrops. Will those stars fall as raindrops in fire? So maybe kind of like the fire was dyed and they fell into the water, maybe.
I don't know why I highlighted this, because this is in the original, like all the way back text. I can't remember what I was looking for. Unless it's different in Solar's text. Anyway, is there anything else that you'd like to comment on?
No, nothing I can think of.
Okay.
Thank you for the cameras.
We are going so fast. Jonathan is not going to be happy with us. and I haven't worked out. Anyway, we'll get to that when we
We'll get there. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll read out Carl's as well, since I don't think he's here.
You.
Mintea boku kospolzuniatu matuena eldiena dumbu doeva poetun. Ambeni titimena via kankevau juboana dumbuena bestitheni vi segenuni. Weiki titimena ambeni tembamen tovani tovamea now epea bundu dumbuena now bestitheni. I think this is where you get your is this the Finnish sounded one kind of going.
Famously, all conlang sound like Finnish. I don't know if you heard this, but it's true. It was said at Trinity, and that gives it more credence than anything, really. I, once again, just was very confused here, if I'm being honest. I think we lose the paragraph structure.
Yes. There is the cows become beasts in general. Barley becomes bulrushes.
Yes.
The fireflies they're now fully fireflies.
Yes. Let me scroll a bit. Because also this one I found this relay much harder to follow. And I think it's mostly because if the relay doesn't make sense and people try and make it make sense in their own different ways, which is the best thing to do, honestly, but it's become a beast of its own, which was originally a cow. It was originally a cloud. And yes, they arrive using their wings. Oh, this was one thing I did want to note. That it ends up being about the way flowers must die. I don't remember what the... Oh, no. Tincture, you also have the method by which the flowers want to die.
Yep.
Okay, the farmers die in Sola's text. So Tincture changed this. This is not an accusation. This is a observation.
Sorry about that.
No apologies necessary. I'm very happy that there's a cat. I don't love animals in person, but I'm very happy to see them on streams. Okay, it's time for our celebrity guest, the one and only Billorigin.
Hello.
Oh, I scrolled on my PDF and not on here. Sorry.
Okay, so first of all, just a disclaimer from the top. I am recovering from a cold at this point, so I might be a little bit spluttery, but let's see what we can do here. So Sinachdi siktir nach goloam röine ddalto luar bisa rixi röine hi talmair luar bisa imaki scar his nimiradas mataschas. Ikrid luar bisa korod yadi hysök nechvichtad vet mimian ochros. Kedin luar bisa ruchjalastin Nchgolo kurdi vysqerehin, damn. Kevihiken, nilavir sikvas ya rachvan. That's probably enough. So I'm pleased to see that all of the bits that seemed completely nonsensical to me were already nonsensical in Carl's text. There were several parts that just seemed to not make any kind of semantic sense, and I had, well, for one thing, from what I recall, Upansaka does not have anything in the way of case marking or verb agreement. And so with some of the longer sentences, I had a little bit of trouble figuring out who was doing what to whom. And with the way that the verb compounding things worked as well, where you can just sort of stack a whole bunch of verbs together in these big long strings, figuring out how those all related to each other was kind of tricky in some instances. But overall, I mean, yeah, actually with the very first sentence, I thought long and hard about how to handle that, because the previous, the text as I got it was the bulrushes are being harvested under an animal, and I was trying to figure out what the animal had to do with anything. But then I thought, well, the next few sentences seem to focus on like the stars and the night sky, so maybe under the animal, maybe it's like under a star sign, like the constellation of this sacred animal. And so I'd kind of tried to carry that forward. Yeah, there were a few sentences that just didn't seem to make any sense at all. Like the bulrushes were surprisingly prominent. They stand up at one point, and then there's bones in the lake that turn to ash for some reason. And yeah, the very last line was this is how flowers should be killed. Makes the whole thing seem like, it felt like it was some sort of like fable or something. Like it felt like the last line was supposed to be like the moral that you're supposed to take away from this. So this is how flowers should be killed. It's just it's like the whole thing is just an extremely convoluted ad for Roundup weed killer or something.
I was legitimately going to say.
There aren't enough relays about weed killer, honestly. I think it's an undertapped field of vocabulary that we need to be developing in the language.
Yeah, I think that's about everything I had to say.
I am slightly worried that Jonathan's going to be very angry if we are too early. And they said that they'd be there about like 23. Do we want to do like a mid-relay reading, or is that too much? I'm also aware that like not everyone here is at the time that they would have necessarily chosen for themselves. So there is part of me that's like, bye Sola. Ooh. Okay, Teth is thing. We will see. We will see what happens. Okay. I guess the question is, Magpie, do you want the challenge of? Wait, did I say 23?
I think it was later. They just said that they'd be here in 15 minutes or so.
Oh, it'll be 28. Do you think you can talk for 10 minutes, Magpie, or would you like Bib to read his whole text out for us as celebrity guest? Although, if you're not feeling very well, Bib, I feel bad for making you
don't, yeah.
Let's just go on to Magpie and chat for a bit. Oh, I forgot how long this one... This one got longer and longer, right?
This one got extended, and then I think towards the end it got condensed.
Anyway,
I'd cutting down a lot of repetitive stuff, but it didn't help much.
Okay. I'm just gonna read the first part. Gebaka bakata zenge, sula sat fina delengomoti, masabang ranar reflum hogum akaza dehadrigus idzakradum hijita dalangiri deti ta udzet gamazaka mang.
Okay.
You know, we're short on time. I'll read the next paragraph. Or not short on time, the opposite of that. I'm good at
Yes.
talking.
Yes, we're long on time.
Hundred hamara dalangungut iti, masamang dalan zausrum ge uds iring maze de hogum, ge ambe uds, ge mazemang ranara frum de zenga, akeza de radzatak, an igina thangara retzino, dangara de retzinindi, fututi, fesase, Ifegarezetti rimfe mitamus dangare de retzinibak. So, ever since I started working on Imikundo, I've wanted to do a relay with it because cultural translations get weird because this. You might have noticed the etosauride in the translation. Yeah, this is spoken by a group of people who, for whatever reason, live in the late Triassic. So that meant I had to do terrible things to every word referring to an animal or plant. Some were pretty easy, like bulrushes turned into horsetails, edible plants that grow in water. It works. Etosauride is. It didn't really matter what the animal was. It just had to be an animal you could eat. So that's a large reptile, sort of related to crocodiles, but not very closely. The really hard part comes later, which is the fireflies. It's hard to tell when fireflies evolved, but they probably did not exist in the late Triassic. And I spent a while looking at different types of bioluminescent insects and stuff, and eventually came up with what's translated as sea lights here, but it's actually a bioluminescent dinoflagellate bloom. So microorganisms in the water that sometimes glow. These are a thing that still exists. They're cool.
Oh my gosh. I can see why you were itching to translate it into Makundo then.
Yeah, it's really fun to do things like this, but also it means that I have to spend large amounts of time researching biology when I'm supposed to be translating a text.
I can see where some things came from in my part. I understand some things now.
Yeah.
Here we go.
But then I had to change a few things like, to make it going into the water instead of going into the woods because the sea lights are in the water.
I'm gonna try and find it. Stickers. Oh, these are cool. Yeah.
Oh, these are cool.
Yeah. This
Here's
is
one next to a human by Petrified Forest, USA.
This is specifically, I think, Etosaurides scaglii, so not quite this species, but that's similar.
There's more in here. Okay.
Yeah, there's probably Overall, I feel like my translation is pretty close to what Bib meant. And there's a few places where looking back at it, I have no idea what I was doing. And I specifically the line about the starry sky brought about fields of horsetails. I phrased it fields of horsetails, like fields at horsetails. And I don't understand why I did that. It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, Jonathan.
I don't know if Jonathan can hear you or not.
Probably not.
No.
Should we do a little reading until Jonathan arrives? Is that all right?
Sure.
Do you want to read it, or I'm happy to read it if you don't want to?
I think you should.
Okay. So, in the ancient days, the water plants watched the horsetail harvest under the star sign of the Etosauroid. The starry sky brought about fields of horsetails. Indeed, when night fell, horsetails grew in the land by the river's end. There, on the day of the horsetail harvest, an Itasauroid was sacrificed, and a child kept the fire while it cooked. As she worked, the child's sibling sat next to her until the sacrifice finished cooking. In the sea, the siblings saw sea lights and went and spoke to them. When they entered the sea light shallows, the siblings sat under a sembina tree, but did not fall asleep. The sea lights bit them and taught magic words to them. The sea lights made the children able to eat wood, and they got bigger, glowed, and grew wings. Sorry.
I was looking back at that. I don't know where I got the able to from. It wasn't in Bib's text. I just put it there. I don't know why.
I mean, you don't know how much wood people could eat, really. The flying siblings put their heads under the water and spoke the magic words. Then, in order to become stars, the sea lights went silent and glowed as they went out to sea. When they said their powerful magic words, many horsetails stood upright, while bones burned in the river. The plants knew that they were being watched by the water, that they wanted to grow with the magic words. The siblings used their wings to reach a large black tree by the river. Under the star's light, the water plants watched them and the tree. The rain watched the lights and the growing plants. The horsetails fell asleep, and the siblings' magic made strawberry. Anyway.
Something like that. I've never heard it said out loud.
The strawberry became able to be cut. That is the manner in which the strawberry should be killed.
Strawberry, or singular strobilus, is a code of certain types of plants. These specific ones are edible.
Oh, I know there's like the. Go ahead. I'm just chiming.
Yeah, I interpreted this as a myth about like how the people learned to harvest horsetails and the edible strawberry on them, but it kind of just became nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
That whole second to last paragraph, I was very confused.
I could see how. That seemed to be a prevailing issue with kind of like the flowers are just like kind of like that sort of visual, I guess, flowers wanting to be killed.
Okay, I need to try and figure out how to present some stuff. And so if we can have a nice chat while we wait for Jonathan to show up, that would be excellent stuff. While I try and figure out what's going on. Okay, I can play my media player, so, but that's kind of terrible. Okay. Let's see if. Oh, okay. No, that's Jason. I thought this was a Jonathan.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I see. Oh, I see what is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, there is a Jonathan though.
There is a Jonathan?
Yes.
Jonathan! Hello!
Yay! Okay, hold on. You got it? Okay.
I made it.
You made it!
Oh, I'm really sweaty and gross, but I made it. How's it going?
I think I just figured out how to not disappoint you, and I am thrilled.
What does that mean?
There was one point where I thought I was going to have to try and export a video containing both the image and the audio in order to make this work, and I don't think I have to anymore. So that is amazing. But
did Magpie finish? Did I like get here exactly at time, or?
You're pretty.
Yeah, we delayed.
Okay.
Is it this one? Is it this one?
Yeah,
What?
that would be
No,
it.
it's not this one.
Oh, never mind.
Sorry. I'm trying to find the picture that you sent me, and I've done a terrible job with it. How's everyone doing?
Great.
I will take this time to once again apologize for the length of the relay text and promise that if I'm ever made relay master again, it will not be of not only my own volition, but it will be a shorter text.
Okay.
I honestly, the text wasn't, it didn't feel extraordinarily long by the time it got to me.
That's reassuring. Thank you.
I shortened it some, but also it was absurdly long for Steffa. Sorry, Tethys.
It's just how Steffa goes.
Well, it is, but also it was literally 11 pages of text.
Oh yeah,
followed
that
by
was
notes.
that was a lot. But when I look at my translation, it's like, oh, that's a reasonable amount of video text.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is just a little part of it that's on screen, which is the only part that I have audio for to present, because otherwise it would go way over time.
I'm gonna try and get this to work, and if it doesn't work, I'm really gonna have to apologize. I don't. If this doesn't work, I'm not sure what will.
Possibly, we could get the audio file on the web on Karis's website. I don't know if that's feasible.
We'll see. Anyway,
We'll see.
I'm gonna click play, and I hope everyone can hear it fine.
It went away.
Yeah, Jake, you
We
muted
heard
yourself
like
and
5
henceforth muted the thing.
So I need my microphone on. Are you hearing it through my microphone?
Yes.
It seems like it.
I'm sorry. I hope that wasn't too horrible.
It was pretty bad, but that's okay. So this, to be clear about what this is a draft of one sentence. Those are suffixes. They're each one of those is a third person suffix. They're all different depending on what they refer to. It's basically a gloss, but lining up each individual bit, because otherwise it's hard to follow. So this was actually a draft gloss, so the notes didn't exactly match what you heard. And then obviously there's no rhythm or harmony in what's on screen. That was all added later. So should we show the, yeah.
Okay. Is this zoomed in as I said I would do it? Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna start scrolling slowly so people can appreciate how long the music is.
So it was a cow. That's fun. Because I don't really have context for most of this. So at a certain point, I gave up and just presented a stream of notes like what you just saw, but without the gloss, obviously. But a lot of the music is, harmony and stuff to support the melody. So I don't know if you can zoom in on just like the very beginning, maybe.
Oh, I see what you're saying with the harmony.
I have tried to find a way to show this before this, And because the image is one really, really long image,
Yeah.
it's really hard to get it bigger than this.
Would it help if I real quick sent you like a screenshot of just the beginning part? Or would it not be possible?
Do you have the ability to share your screen?
Oh, probably.
We can just do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This definitely was where a lot of the text started to condense around this.
Oh, yeah, I could show the PDF.
Yeah,
That works
okay.
too,
I'm
actually.
having trouble with this for some. Oh, there it is. No.
Here we go.
Working. Your browser has blocked your screen. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I have it.
Okay, good. So you can see the H thing, which is notation I borrowed and sort of abused slightly, which basically means this part right now is actually in Stefa. Anything else is accompaniment to it. So the first three measures of cello stuff are not Stefa, although they are. If it were in context, it would be the past tense marker. So it's sort of like a long time ago, repeating the past tense. But that isn't actually part of the text. The actual past tense marker comes in later in the viola, I think. And then at a certain point, there will be like a similar looking N with the line at the top, which basically says this is no longer actually the melody. It is now accompaniment. It's going to take a little while because the viola has the melody for a while. So, right here. Oh, go back, time it. So you can see now the piano has the H. So that's the part we just heard. So at that point, it's like another voice, although it's not a dialogue or anything. It's just, I wanted some musical variety. And wherever the next H is after this, someone else is going to have an N to say that they're not melody.
Oh, I see.
Okay, here. So at that point, the piano stops carrying meaning and is just supporting meaning in the viola. So I don't know, what have people been talking about, like process of translation, or like what?
Any sort of like nuances you kind of like notice kind of
well,
going
so I guess
back and forth.
The big thing was context, because I don't have words for prehistoric, like extremely prehistoric stuff in Stefa. So yes, it became a cow again. And seaweed seems relatively straightforward. I didn't make a word for that in Stefa. It was just like plants of the water or something like that. And then the big thing was the plant, and I have absolutely no idea what some of this was supposed to mean in Magpie's text. But I knew I needed some sort of a plant with something that was edible. And the previous Let's Have a Booba Relay that I did Stefa with was all about blueberries. So I was like, maybe I'll just do blueberries again. So whatever this plant was became blueberry bushes, and yeah, there was a lot in here about like plants and the water and other things somehow knowing and wanting things, which I'll have to go back in the video and see what that was about. But I simplified
there was a
some of
missing
that.
passive.
That was spurred it all, the passive.
Yeah, there was a missing passive.
That's fun. So I did change some of those things. Yeah. I have no idea how we are on time, so I can stop there. Or
we've only got two people left, and we've got 20 minutes for the amount of time we're planning for. So, but if you're ready to move on, we can come back to any last comments if you want to say anything else at the end.
That sounds good.
What? Okay.
So Teth has had the hard task of a whole different modality.
It was honestly fine. Like,
Good.
I mean, it did take a while to go through and like identify words and affixes, because like a big thing with Stefa is it's not written with spaces for like here are distinct word and like hesitate to use the word, but morpheme boundaries.
Never hesitate.
There's not explicit the boundaries between word parts in Stefa are shown with repeated notes because within parts notes do not repeat, and then like when affixes stick onto a root they have like copy pitch, so you have to look for those. Sorry, David. So I have a whole document where I went through and just transcribed. Well, first I transcribed all of it into like identified the roots. I was like, okay, I think this is an affix, and it's like a -2, -3. So like down a step, down a third. What does that mean? Oh, it's this. And then once I had that, I basically had like a big Stefa gloss, and then I had to make that make sense, and then translating it into Campirno, which can read a little bit of now. Tarawa mut tinikta makka ti wirim ka ti riuni tak dum daunimang bamba mut dum ti wak tammak tiki ti mut tinikta ngam pikarmang pirak na pawanga ngoemang tak ti rum dauni kukupe ker tak pinamang bambam ti wirna kirumbam mangak ngam tingo akato turowakir kerak bamanga piomang kerak kingindang ngam rikir tiwa ti wiromak ngangaur ti wir na kat rundemang ti wirak na ikyuma chambi wera ngam tingo kangam ti wat runde ti wirmak ngam tingo kungun kirum ti wirna kungun tawa tira kapun noapak tarawa kiwup ti wirum kap kirpaka tingo re tiranga noa ngarwe tiomang pinam. The cow is once again no longer a specified cow. The Pirngo people are nearly exclusively seagoing. They live on their boats the whole time, and they don't. I made a general word for like large herbivorous mammal, a large herbivorous animal. Thorn bushes. That's I think because Stefa had something that was glossed as just like bush or briar, and I was like, it's more interesting if it's a briar or like a bramble, and so that's a thorn bush. Thorn bushes grew, eating the light in the stars.
Things are making sense now.
Yeah. I don't really know what happened in this story. There's a magic spell out in the ocean, and it gives the children wings. And there's like I think I got the black as an adjective for blueberry, or like the dark color for blueberry as an adjective mixed up. And so that's how there's like, oh, there's this big black tree, and the big black tree does something magical.
The tree was black in R1, but I don't remember if it's a continuation or... Yeah, the tree's black in Stefa.
Mine.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did
it
it
wasn't
perfectly. I
a
didn't do
tree.
anything wrong.
Yeah, no,
Nope,
the tree
nothing
is
whatsoever.
black, pretty far back. No,
I
no
think
line
it's in the
intended.
original. This is the the one thing
Wow.
that survived.
In that case, we're all amazing. Yeah. There's magic light in the ocean. Tells kids to do things. That's normal.
Well done. I'm impressed and very glad to see that I was able to convey meaning in some way.
Yeah. It was fun.
Good.
Okay. So,
Okay, Jason, are you audible?
I can hear
Oh,
you.
thank God! Yay!
Fabulous. Right. So I had initially glossed those thorn bushes as brambles, and then I thought it made more sense that they were cactuses. So that changed that. But otherwise, I don't think it changed too much from Tephis's. That I can see anyway. But I'll just read the first sentence, which is Kai haku chifiku alvai saikoko we hau fuda wuchu. And that's it. There's not too much to say, to be honest with you. It's the brambles. There's this. They're eating starlight, and yet later on in the narrative, the lights become stars. So it of course doesn't make any sense anymore at all.
well, we need to do the final read through.
Is there a romanization available for this? Is it on there somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the PDF,
Okay.
which I think
Okay, lovely.
is. Can you see the?
Oh,
I've
actually, you know
forgotten the-
what? If you hover over it, it does pop up the romanization. So bless Karis for putting that in, because Lord knows I do not have the HTML
That's
skills
cool.
for that.
Yeah, I forgot what the word for it is. Jason, if you'd like to read your English, I'm happy for you to do that. Otherwise, it's Miles's turn to do a long reading.
Of my English?
Yeah, because yours is the final one. Miles didn't translate either of them back into Chilu or Chelu.
Okie doke, 1 second.
Tooltip, that was the word. Sorry.
Right, so cacti grew near a river, feeding on starlight. Water plants watched as the cacti were harvested. One day, some children killed an animal by the river and cooked it over a fire. Afterward, they saw a light over the sea, and they went after it. It led them to a tree, and they sat beneath it. There, the light taught them a magic spell. The children dipped their heads beneath the sea and spoke the spell. The light in the sea made the children glow and give them wings so they could fly. The light grew calm, then rose from the sea into the sky to be burning stars. The spell soothed the cacti, but the water plants longed to grow like cacti. The children flew through the sky and saw a great dark tree beside the river. Because of the starlight, the water plants listened to the children there at the tree. Then the children put the cacti to sleep and made them grow fruit to be eaten. And ever since, cacti bear fruit.
Sorry, I was slow on the scrolling. Thank you.
That was it.
Yay! And look how much shorter it is. And then we've got the bonus. So we can check the characters and words in the English translation. And you can see the rise and fall of
I should probably mention I did simplify and omit a few things just because it was already so long, and there were some sort of logical connections that I was just like, you can figure this out.
Creative liberties.
You can see the right when it gets to me.
I do love the outlier, and if you go to any of the conlanging text, yours is just like right down there.
Yeah. Characters per word.
I mean it's 1-to-1, but that is kind of arbitrary because like you could count up the number of notes like node heads and things, and then it would be much more than that, and it would probably be an outlier in the other direction.
Either
but
way.
I'm not certain. I don't know.
Could we do some standard deviation calculations? Yes, but will we want to right now? No.
Anyway,
I had so I noticed in both of those we got to talking about children really quickly, but I didn't see children mentioned in either of the original starting texts.
It could have been the siblings that kind of gotten brought into to children. So like maybe like people thought like if they're siblings, there must have been some kind of like I don't say hierarchical parent, some like imaginary parent up there. So maybe that's kind of how it happened. That's my interpretation. I don't know.
Fascinating.
I think the curious thing for me is that it wasn't even just that there was one leg that changed things loads. It was that it was like a gradual series of changes, considering like this text was fairly stable in the other ring once Muvuku appeared.
I'm trying to remember a lot of, because I do remember, like, I did bold what I did want to kind of highlight in terms of, like, the differences. But a lot of these I'm trying to remember. I know one was for sure, like, to feel an attraction, but of course that got let out. I know there was one about being drunk. That was different in either language. I don't know if that got kind of taken care of. I think the thundering may have been, if I remember correctly. I have them like bolded and highlighted and underlined which ones were the different ones, but for life of me, I can't correlate them off the cuff, which were different, which were not. Oh, that's what it is. I think one had a forest of like a different word for forest. I don't think that mattered too greatly, but I think what I bolded in my document were dialectal differences in terms of like phrases, and then I had like underlined things. I'll share this with everybody too. I have no qualms with that whatsoever. Just underlined were ones that were just kind of like different roots, I believe was the case. Actually, why the hell not? Let's put this in chat. Let's see what you all could have been subjected to. Ka-chow. Boop. Nice. So that is the original document that I had used to plan the torch out. And you can kind of see also if you do want to kind of see what, again, creative liberties were made for kind of the condensing of it. And I keep wanting to say like condensed milk every time I say condensed, which does sound very delicious, but I don't know why I keep thinking of that.
I hope that this feels like a big weight off your shoulders, because this has been going on for so long.
Yes, it has. This is oh my gosh. I feel like I already done like so many relays in between until that, like this moment where I'm like, oh gosh, this has happened already. And I'm glad that we have reached this stage of like culmination. Yes.
I want to thank Terrace again. Did I say Terrace? Karis. Karis.
Thank you, Karis.
All of the website work. Like, I started thinking about how to fit all of the really long texts into PowerPoint slides. I was like, no, I can't format all of these.
No, I tried to as well. It was not great.
So thank you so much. I want to thank all of the participants for dealing with me as I was trying to claw things back together. And thank you for Miles for organizing it in the first place. I know it's daunting to do your first relay hosting.
Yes.
So
thank you all.
It's also an impressive thing to have written that text in, and I mean that's a big thing even regardless of the relay context. So
yeah,
like a creative writing project in a conlang is not something we do a lot. Like if I think of most of my longer conlang texts, they're almost all relay stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very cool.
Yes, and also like shout out to Nemo for actually like inspiring me. I don't even know when for even creating this. So I'm very glad that like they could like give him that inspiration to like even like make this text. And I knew I wanted to be a mythology, ironically enough. But yeah, it just kind of like was a really fun experience, even like composing that from what I remember. So yeah.
It really was epic in all the senses.
Yes, and go see Odyssey in IMAX. No, I'm kidding.
I think it's so cool that we've sort of didn't exist a few years ago, and now we have people on 4 continents in a call talking about their conlang relay that they've done with us. It's yeah, I don't know what me and Miles expected when we started this, but it means a lot that everyone is kind of in the community here with us, without like hardly any credentials or anything.
Yes, Magpie. I'm also very glad.
Yowie specifically Yowie themed ring. Oh, not themed ring. The siblings were technically lovers at some point. I don't know how they became siblings.
Well, okay, so that's not so pause. The siblings were not lovers. It's an honorific. It's not, they're not related. The siblings are not related. I promise you.
That sounds like a get out clause, Miles.
It's more of a very like fervent clarification.
You're already talking about like problematic age gap stuff. I just keep getting more problematic.
Is that the brand now? It's become the most problematic.
Yeah.
Well, we know it's an option with the Puma Lang stuff. So
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Harmonic and disharmonic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's more weird stuff still to come.
More weird stuff coming your way, but with less body horror this time, which is great.
We can make it happen.
I think my relays were relatively wholesome. I mean, not everyone likes spiders, I guess. That was the issue for some people. Yeah.
Okay, y'all. So just to kind of do some final like housekeeping stuff, just to kind of do the whole like plugging bull. We will see some of you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. British, whatever the time is Pacific, on Lands Unknown, where we will do more climate mapping and some isotherm fun. Monday, you will see Jake on Madeline Worldbuild channel, along with Bit, potentially. I don't know what you Bit, but you will see at least 2 of 3 people on that channel. And then Tuesday, we're back to our usual programming on this channel here. So
and we'll be in and out of the relay live chat as well, because the relay normal ring comes out on Monday as well.
Yes, so this is for George's YouTube relay as well, so stay tuned for that.
Myself and Miles clearly don't belong in the normal ring, having looked at what we've produced. Okay, we're 2 minutes early. People thought it couldn't be done, and yet the power of Britishness has...
Amazing timekeeping.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we had to skip through a lot of the texts, so please go and read them on the website in more time and with a finer comb, and find all the stuff we didn't notice changed between them. And yeah, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks so much.